people like it's still camp. He's still a rookie, and there's a lot of stuff that he hadn't seen.
Yep.
But from what you saw in him in practice, what I saw from him in practice was this. I saw him hit the back of the corner and end zone with touch.
Boom.
I saw that. The way he throws the ball, I see why you gush over the arm. He flings it. He flings it. But everything that he does when he throws, you see the rotation of the hips too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even using it. It's like he's figured out how to govern the cannon. Is the way you kind of look at the way he throw the ball.
Right.
Until he actually needs to use it, like that pass he had in the end zone.
Yeah.
And Kayla did, like, you told the story, but the picture that needed to be painted about what he did in that moment in the end zone, especially the one across the middle, what was it to who was it to, Kayla?
I know, I wish
it was
I had my
Traylon?
book here.
Was it Traylon? He hit somebody with a dagger across the middle, Will, and there was a defender in front of him. The line was around him. He had the umbrella around him in the pocket. Somewhat stepped up. Defenders crossing over, and he daggers one right in the middle of the back of the end zone. And I'm just like, okay, this is good. He also had one on the sideline that was pretty solid too. Every throw he can make, his poise in the pocket was really solid. I said yesterday to Mike Keefe, I said, you know what, Mike? I'm going to have to just start taking the Kentucky off of Kentucky. I got to take the S out. I got to respect the work that he's doing so far.
Starting to earn it a little bit.
He's earning it. I'm taking the S out, Will.
And I assume you heard Ron Slay yesterday say that Nathaniel has run all the way to Indianapolis.
He did.
He's not in Nashville.
Savage said that yesterday,
Yeah, he
too?
did.
We'll have to get clarified comments from Ron Slay today at 9:20 when he joins us. But the word on the street is that Nathaniel is no longer in Will Levis.
Good.
For right now.
It was crisp,
It's good.
the decision-making. Him and the defense was rushing. They're rushing their behinds off to try to get after him. And it was
The
just
defense looked a little frustrated.
yesterday was an even day. I thought it was more even. They didn't
I
run
did
off
too.
with it yesterday, Kayla.
No.
And more even means probably in my mind the offense won it.
And
Okay?
that's kind of how I was leaning
Yeah.
too. But those were, I think it was 7-on-7s where Will was really throwing the strikes.
Yeah.
Because he found what we've been talking about, Trayshawn Harrison,
Yep.
who continues to make the most of his opportunities. I think Justin Rigg, the tight end, found him. So
He had
different weapons.
touchdown passes to Racy McMath and Reggie Roberson
Yep.
in team red zone periods. Jim Wyatt reporting that Will Levis was 6 of 7 on the day with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And saying on his incompletion, he held the ball too long as his intended target drifted to the sideline and out of bounds. In 7-on-7 and team periods combined in camp, Jim Wyatt has Will Levis as 23 of 30
Okay.
through training camp so far. And in the F&M Bank chat, Just Mike says, start him, Levis QB1.
Here we go.
Mike, I love you, but that's completely ridiculous. The only genuine takeaway that I have as of August 1st, guys, is that Will Levis is light years ahead of where Malik Willis was this time last year. That is the one thing that we know without a shadow of a doubt, because we have the proof of concept and the precedent for what was going on this time last year, when I don't think Malik Willis, Kayla, would have even thrown 30 passes at this point, because he was holding onto the ball on genuinely every single rep.
Right. And look, Malik was coming from a way different system.
Absolutely.
And so I'm not going to make all these excuses, but it's a different situation, right?
It is.
What I will say is this is a great kind of now battle that's starting to brew. And this is what we really wanted to see. And this will continue through camp, because they're only going to try to make each other better and try to one-up each other in terms of like, I'm that guy. No, I'm that guy. Awesome competition on the field, because Malik is doing what he should be doing right now too, which is improving, doing the things he needs to do. 21 of 35 according to Jim Wyatt in camp so far in terms of his completion. So yeah, I feel like he's doing his part, but Will Levis as a rookie, I think he's starting to really it's clicking.
Yeah.
Right? I can see it start to click a little more.
2 other tidbits from me as far as those guys that duo, and then one more too I'm going to speak on. But Malik yesterday dropped back, and they were in the tight red zone area, I think, driving a little bit. And he's in the pocket, scanning, making his progressions, and I'm going to get rid of it. And he hits Colton Dow. By the way, Colton's a thick dude. He's not small.
Dude. 2 C's.
Yeah, 2 C's, okay? He's a thicker wide receiver, but he's fast. He can jump. That guy, he came to the end zone to where I was standing. I was like, That ain't no small kid. That ain't no small young man right there. Like, goodness gracious. So I'm impressed by Colton, the physique that he has and what he looks like. And I was impressed by the strike that Malik kind of led him with yesterday, too. And one more to pay off, too. Josh Wiley, blocking. For a guy that just came out there on the first day, he had a run with Tajay Spears was in that same red zone area, Will, and ran into the end zone. It was I think it was Tajay Spears, if I'm not mistaken. But it was Josh Wiley's block on the line of scrimmage against the DN that kind of freed him up. He covered him up because he's 6'7"-ish, and Wiley's not a frail
he's
type
slender,
of dude.
though.
I didn't think he was too frail.
No, he's not frail.
Yeah, no, he wasn't frail. Like, he's a thicker guy than I gave credit to also as a tight end for his size.
He's cut.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. He's cut.
Yeah.
And his blocking skills, though, which is huge for a young guy in this offense, was way above board yesterday.
That's good to see.
615-737-1045, the number if you want to join the conversation. The F&M Bank chat, also where the conversation continues on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, or Twitch at 1045 The Zone. Amar says Will Levis is also going against a third-string defense.
No. He went against the twos, and if I'm not mistaken, I thought he got some reps against the ones yesterday, too, Levis.
Okay.
Yes. I think he ran with the 1-0 line yesterday, too.
That being said, even if he was, Malik Willis was this time last year, too, and was not having this level of success.
Right. They do mix it up a little bit right now in camp. Like, he runs with the threes most of the time, but they definitely will switch things up a little bit.
They've been switching up. If I'm not mistaken, I saw Levis with the 1-0L yesterday.
Brian, who declares himself hashtag Team Malik in the F&M Bank chat, says Levis is also beginning in a better situation, better OC, better O-line, better receivers. I would argue he's actually playing with the exact same O-line and receivers that Malik Willis was this time last year because he's working with twos and threes predominantly.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily fair. Yeah, I think he has a better offensive coordinator because I think Tim Kelly will be better than Todd Downing, but we also don't know that. Tim Kelly's not called a single snap of competitive Titans football as the OC yet. So I have no way to know if any of those three things are the case.
And can we say this, too, about working with the twos and threes? There are still some NFL veterans that are in the twos and threes group, too. Guys that got like 3+ years that are working with the twos, or guys that's been in the league, whether it's practice squad or another place, for another year or two. Is the competition a little bit different? Is it Big Jeff? No, it's not Big Jeff. Is it Byard? No, it's not Byard. But you still got guys who are still a top 1% of their profession playing football.
And that's the whole point. Look, all these guys are trying to make the team.
Yeah, they
Do you
are.
not think that they're going all out every single drill, especially if they're on twos and threes?
Yeah.
Because those are the guys that need to make the roster. Like, they're busting their you-know-whats every single rep, every single play, just because they want to try to get eyes on them. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the top-level competition, but Will Levis is still getting his,
He's proven it, Will. And I don't want to sound too optimistic about it because I don't want to sell wolf tickets or, bottles of hope to folks that need to see. Or vouchers, yes.
Yeah, vouchers aren't going
No
out.
vouchers to give.
No vouchers.
Out of those, you're 100% correct.
Those were gone 2 weeks ago.
Did you find any at the rummage sale this weekend, Bert? Because I kind of want a few vouchers, but they don't seem to work out for me.
I didn't find any of those. Did you say you're out of wolf tickets?
Yeah, I mean, not wolf tickets. I don't want to sell them.
What is a wolf
You never
ticket?
heard
Cry
of
wolf.
You never. Oh, you selling wolf tickets? You never heard that? I mean, you basically.
Never in my
I
life
have
if I
never
heard
purchased a wolf ticket.
That means you're really making something bigger than what it is. If you're gonna bark, then you need to back it up. Wolf ticket is just speaking hot air to hype somebody up or hype yourself up.
Okay, I'm pretty familiar with most tickets. Had a few speeding tickets. I've won raffle tickets, bought wrestling
Tickets to the gun show?
Never tickets to the gun show. I'm always back here flexing, putting my
Right.
guns out for the gals, but never a wolf ticket.
You
So
never
learn-
heard selling wolf tickets?
I don't want any
Oh my
either.
gosh,
It
that's
sounds
like you
rough.
barking wolf. Like,
Yeah.
hey, no, you don't scare me with
Well, I
that.
thought you were saying wolf, like with an L.
Yeah, I think he is too. Are you
It's
not
wolf.
saying wolf?
No, you're saying wolf, like
I
a
am
dog
saying
barking.
Yeah, I'm
See,
saying
it
no,
would've
I'm
made
saying
sense.
WLF.
Like, whoa.
Wolf ticket.
It would have
like a
made
wolf.
sense if it was like crying wolf.
Right.
That I can wrap my head around. I think you should change it.
I like the way it is.
Should be wolf tickets.
Tickets to the wolf.
I ain't buying none of the tickets.
WOLF. You ain't. Well, have you paid your parking tickets lately?
Why you got to bring up old stuff?
Anyway.
Why you got to bring
But
up old
all
stuff?
in all, you guys, I
Yeah.
do think the positive to take out of this, why do we have to spin everything negative? We don't. People want to always create like some sort of, false narrative. No, all we're trying to say here is I think both quarterbacks are showing they're making progress.
Yeah.
Right? I think both quarterbacks are on the right path. They haven't gone backwards, and that's a good thing. Let the battle begin or keep going.
I like it.
Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a Malik Willis hater either. It's the fact that the only statement that I'm willing to make about Will Levis right now is that he is further ahead now than Malik Willis was one padded practice in last season. That is it. Which to me tells you that Will Levis is putting himself in a better position to be the backup quarterback simply because he can come in and run the same offense that Ryan Tannehill is running because his level of knowledge, his baseline level entering the league is light years ahead of what Malik Willis's baseline knowledge was. And that's not really Malik's fault. Malik came from Liberty. He came from a Hugh Freeze system where they would tell him at practice, I'm pointing at the guy I want you to throw it at, and if he's not open, run. So, yeah, it's not his fault, but there are a lot of things that aren't the fault of players in the NFL that ultimately doom them, at least at their first stop, and maybe for their whole career. There are plenty of pro-ready guys who have tools and intangibles who have been taught to run college-only schemes and not made it. Doesn't mean I don't feel bad for the guy. I mean, you can feel however you want to about that. Doesn't mean you're a hater if you're just pointing out that, yeah, Will Levis came from a more pro-ready system and has entered with a much higher baseline knowledge of how an NFL system works, and it puts him in better position to succeed.
And look, Malik is still running with the twos. So right now, according to the way things kind of happen, he's, the second quarterback right now. Anything can happen, but, it's going to be a battle. Like, don't be surprised if one or the other happens in terms of QB2. I think they'll keep 3 QBs, though. I am actually going to start saying, I'm closer to saying 80% they're going to keep 3.
The progression is what you've been looking for.
Yeah.
And I got to give it to Malik, too. His ability to stay in the pocket and not look nervous while operating has improved, too, from what I saw, even from last year. Like,
he can still maybe work on getting that a little quicker.
And that's, again, that's all reps. That's him retraining himself and stuff like that. He has the P-word potential. He has that. It's a matter of him unlocking that and rolling with the punches that are given to him and realizing like an interception in practice ain't a bad thing. Just take the risk. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, man. Just go already.
He looks so much more confident.
He does.
So much more confident.
He sounded, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think the battle is totally even in terms of the long-term option for the Titans. I think Will Levis is head and shoulders above Malik Willis in terms of the long-term battle to be the Titans starting quarterback. But at this point, I could certainly see a scenario where they keep 3. The only reason that I'm not making that statement is just because I'm going to believe it when I see it with Mike Vrabel.
And we have an open bet.
Well,
wait, what's that?
Yeah, our bet we made if Malik Willis makes the roster,
about that.
50 push-ups.
That's right.
That is the bet. I'm starting to think you're going to win, though. I'm starting to come around that they're probably going to keep 3.
Yeah.
But I do have to believe it when I see it because we just have no precedent of that happening really very much under Mike Vrabel.
And it does take away from, keeping 6 wide receivers or, whatever running backs in terms of keeping how many running, it does take away from one other spot.
In the F&M Bank chat, Lemon Pepper Stepper, which is a crazy name.
Whoa.
I enjoy that name. Okay?
Hot Stepper?
Said Lemon Pepper Stepper. He said, I've been hearing that Will Levis has been bad so far. See, that's the thing about it. Like, the reports of a guy being bad versus good. Like, a lot of the stuff you hear about Levis is people wanting to believe what they don't see already. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has been solid. He's been consistent. If he's had a day or two, that's all it was. And that's camp also, Yeah. He's been solid.
One more comment I want to bring up, too, is Music City Malik in the F&M Bank chat, who is clearly going to side with Malik Willis, says Vrabel loves how Malik has been improving. He loved how Des Fitzpatrick was improving last year, too, and he didn't even make the roster. Not to be totally negative on this, but off-season award winners and guys who get praise in the off-season still often don't make the team.
Can I just say this about Des, though? He was not improving last. I'm sorry. I'm going to go there. Des Fitzpatrick was not improving last year. I don't know why Mike even said that because maybe that was just me watching him and never seen anything different. But again, that was the old player who was here.
615-737-1045 is our number. And stop the presses because up next, our Kicker Minute.